Today we are here to present you the onboarding webinar. You were invited to this webinar if you registered on Capacity4dev in the last month. So we introduce you a little bit to the platform. And today we have also some special contributions that I'll mention later. I posted a poll just to know where you're talking from. See, that's very interesting. You have 3 people from Sarajevo, 3 from one from Costa Rica, Hungary, Spain, Malawi. I don't know if it appears for you, the cloud on the screen, if you didn't close it. Budapest, Nairobi, Kenya, Hungary, Warsaw. So very a lot of diversity of our public today. Very happy to see you here. Today's session is being recorded, so please do not open your camera if you don't want to be in the recording. The recording will be available after the session until Friday normally. You can check the thank you note you probably were going to receive on your email if you were invited directly to the meeting, or you can find it on the best practices group. Otherwise, we have already the recordings from the past ones over there, so you don't need to check specifically this one. Let's start with a networking session. So briefly introduce ourselves. This is an opportunity to get to know some of your new Capacity4dev peers. So I'll start and give you the word. You can either raise your hand here on the platform or just open the camera and I'll fetch you. So I'm Ivan Pizeta. I'm the Capacity4dev community manager. I come from Brazil, but I'm also Italian. And I expect from this webinar to enhance community engagement from and for the users in the platform. So let's start. Who would like to introduce themselves?
I can start. No one's.
Yes, go
Can
ahead.
you hear
Please.
me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Annalisa Gozzi. I'm a Blue Book trainee in Int54, also Italian. And from this webinar, I expect to gain some hands-on tips to revamp my unit space on Capacity4dev.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Annalisa. You definitely get some tips and also some spaces to explore later that you can take as an example. Maria, let's warm up. Would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Of course. Hello, I'm Maria Sancho. I'm Portuguese. I am the user support manager here on Capacity4dev. The first point of contact if you reach out to the support mailbox, and I will, of course, do reach out and I will redirect your questions to all our team members, the ones that mind your questions, and I hope that you gain from this webinar some knowledge about this platform, the knowledge sharing platform managed by the European Commission. Nice to have you here.
Thank you, Maria. We also have the presence of 2 of our dear ambassadors today. Bianca, could you present yourself?
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Bianca Baumla, and I have been working both within the EU institutions and outside the EU institutions, but supporting the EU institutions as an independent consultant for almost 20 years, for almost 10 years in EU delegations, especially in Syria and Ukraine. And now, currently, I am working for the DEAR support team, a program that's run by DG INTPA, International Partnerships, focusing on development, education, and awareness raising, concretely funding European NGOs and local authorities to work with people in Europe of all nationalities on sustainable development goals and international cooperation in line with DG INTPA's work.
Right. Thank you, Bianca. And we also have Christina, another for ambassadors.
Yes, hello to everybody. My name is Cristina Begenaro. I'm from Romania. I'm a consultant and I run a consultancy working with European funds and grants. My main work relates to international development sector, and I support small, medium enterprises, universities, NGOs, and municipalities to develop competitive proposals and get funding for their projects. Nice to meet you all.
Nice, thank you. We have someone with the hand, but it says conference room. Would you like to open your camera, introduce yourself, or just the microphone? Hello.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. I'm Nadia Shah, and I work with Sarhad Rural Support Program, SRSP, which is a local NGO in Pakistan. We've been working with funding from the European Union for the past 10 years. Recently, we got funding from EU for a sustainable water resource management program. And I have my colleague here with me, Kamal. So we both are working on the same project. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for participating. We also have Nadine that raised the hand.
Yeah, hello, good evening from the Philippines. I'm German, but since 15 years in the Philippines, and I'm working currently on 2 European projects, European funding. And yeah, I'm happy about all the support and frameworks, indicators, and happy to understand your platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadine. Vladimir.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Vladimir Gumiller. I'm director of the construction cluster of Slovenia. I'm interested in circular and sustainable building, built environment, and get some insight and help and collaboration in our activities in international markets, Brazil, Emirates, Saudi Arabia, India, and so on. And also involved in different European projects as the lady from Romania. Thank you.
All right. Nice to meet you, Vladimir. Thank you. So we'll start with the presentation. Besides our ambassadors, there's also a team behind Capacity4dev. Maria already introduced herself. I also introduced myself. Our other team members are composed by Ariela, which is our INTPA coordinator, Claudia, which is our content coordination expert, Dimi, our communication expert, and finally, Marie, which is our business project manager. Today, we will cover in this presentation what is Capacity4dev, who can use the platform, what are the features available, what is the added value for you. We'll do a brief virtual tour. I forgot to put there a line, but we will have a moment that our ambassadors, Bianca and Christina, will talk about their experience with Capacity4dev. So that will be right after the virtual tour, and then we will end with a Q&A session. So what is Capacity4dev? Capacity4dev is the DG INTPA knowledge sharing platform. It was created in 2009. The idea is to boost our ability to develop capacities through knowledge sharing. Although the idea of foreign aid and development cooperation has been shaped into international partnerships, Capacity4dev still believes in this aspect of development. So we have a leading position on knowledge sharing in the field of external relations, and we are a community. We have over 6,000 members, active members in our platform. It is a community-made platform as well, which is to say we do publish some stuff there. We do create some publications like the articles, as you're going to see, but 80% of the content that is there is made by the users. Our platform has migrated in 2023. It was revamped, reshaped to be more user-friendly. And that is still our goal. Until this day, we are constantly developing the platform. So whenever you see something that you might find relevant as a suggestion of improvement or a bug on the platform, do not hesitate to contact us. Maria is going to drop some important links on the chat. You can address directly to them. Thank you, Maria. As I mentioned, an international corporation professionals community. So how do we do all that? How do we enhance knowledge sharing? How do we enhance our capacities? By collaborating and engaging with our peers, by learning from each other across different organizations, by sharing our expertise, lessons learned, innovative approaches, in this one-stop shop that is Capacity4dev. Who can use it? Anyone in the international cooperation field can use it. We have overall 300 new members requests per month. And we have, for example, 30% of the people that are registered on the platform, they are from EU institutions or the Relax family. Do I have quick definition? We have governments, we have academia, private sector, and staff from other international organizations. So what is the added value for you? Why should you use Capacity4dev? What is the advantage for you? So it's the only collaborative platform where all Relax members can interact with equal access to public, restricted, or private environments. The Relax family, for the ones that are not from the Commission, is the EU external action institutions, the EU delegations, and also the EU and member states delegations from the staff from these institutions. It is hosted in an EU secure IT environment, so you don't have to be concerned about fraud or scams or spams because we are controlling for that. And also another advantage that is not mentioned there is that you do not have ads on this platform. So you can browse ad free, which is rare in nowadays throughout the internet. As I mentioned before, it's a community created platform. So 80% of the content is published by our own members. We also have the articles I'm going to display later, but you can also contribute with an article in the future. I'll give you the instructions for that. We are also active on social media, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and now Blue Sky. This is also useful for you if you have something important that you would like to boost the visibility. It is on Capacity4dev, but you do not have a social media page, you want some external visibility, you can contact us and we are going to boost its visibility on our own social media. So what are the features available to do all that? What can you do on Capacity4dev? How can you navigate it? We have groups, projects, resources, and articles. The first three are the ones you as a user can create, manage, or participate. The groups are dedicated for collaboration. You create a group when you want to gather people around the same topic, but you want their contributions. You want them to also be publishing. You want them to get news faster, to be more connected, that they are able to comment as well on your publications and publish their own documents as well. So there's no definition of what should be the topic of a group, but it usually revolves about a specific thematic area or a country, a geographic area, or even to backlog a project. The projects are what we call mostly a static page. Now we have the commission asking you not to to pay for opening a website for your project. So we have this option on Capacity4dev for free. You can post all the information there. Although I said a static page, there is a news section where you can upload the news of the project. And even if the project is completed, this information still stay there. We have this completed information and it will not be erased from the platform. Resources are created to be more of interactive methodological tools. There's also not a precise definition, but usually they are cross-cutting issues or they comprehend more than one thematic area, or they're useful for more than one thematic area. The difference is from a PDF, for example, you just have the document on pages and pages. On a resource, you can create specific pages, like for group or projects, where user can interact and navigate in a more interactive way. Finally, articles is what you might know from other websites as the blog. So it's our way to try to communicate, try to enhance the communication and the knowledge sharing by sharing lessons from professionals in the field. We have several lines of publications, but we also have types of publications, so articles that are written, video interviews, and podcasts. To be able to write an article, you need to get directly in contact with us. You do not have a tool for the normal regular user to try to publish an article. What I suggest is navigating the article session that I'm going to show on the virtual tour to see what is the type of articles we publish there. So this is a little diagram if you're still wondering if you should open a group, a project, or a resource. So if you want to have interactions with members, you would go for a group. If you want to share knowledge about your project or your program, you go for a project page. Or if you'd like to share a horizontal non-thematic resource, you do a resource page that is interactive. Another thing is that groups can be public, restricted, or private. Public being equal access to everyone. Restricted, they are by default selected to EC commission, to the commission staff and the EAS. But EU member states development agencies can also have their names there. Finally, private. So this restricted content will be visible by the email you have, by the domain you have on your email. You don't have to necessarily select the people. While on private groups, only the people that you invite will be able to see this group. The same resources also have the restricted option. So you can browse the platform. If you have, for example, when you see email, you can browse the platform and see what are the restricted spaces available for you. Now we go to a quick virtual tour. I'm going to share the screen. All right. So this virtual tour will be guided by three things. The first one is the feed and how to browse for content. The second one, how to configure your account. And the third one, just a brief introduction on how to post content. So this is the login page. So this is the home page when you are logged into the platform. You will notice that you have here a featured article always. So the articles I was commenting before, every time we have a new one, they are featured here on your home. And the rest of the page is a feed that is generated according to the topics and countries you have selected while registering Capacity4dev. I'm going to show you in a while, but you can also change on my profile your topics and country settings. Besides the topics and countries, it's generated by the people you follow and the people that are, the people you follow, or the groups that you are part of, or even the things that you clicked on follow. For example, here you can follow someone, but you can also follow a discussion. So all of this will generate an algorithm. The algorithm will generate this page for you. As you can see, we have the article, but we also have members that you join a group, a discussion that was published in a group, suggestions of pages to follow or to groups to join, for example, events, and so on. But if you are looking for specific content, we have basically three ways to do that. and that's what I'm going to show you now. So the first and most simple one is the search bar. So let's say you are looking for something on education. And as it is unfiltered, is the most general browsing, you will show every type of content that is related to education here. On here, you can filter by content type, topics, and additionally SDGs. Although the platform is organized by the thematic areas of INTPA, we also put some SDGs filters here. So let's say you want to look for education, on higher quality education, then you have this related spaces and content published. For a more specific browsing option, you have the tabs of topics and countries. These tabs, they work as if it was the home feed for you, but it is only for the specific topic. So let's keep with education, for example. If you click on the topic education, you're going to see that you have an overview page. You have a feed that compiles all the information that was published under the tag of education. But you can also filter directly and see, I want only groups. So all the related groups to education, projects, the discussions that are inside of the groups, or even the documents. This possibility is also interesting if you're browsing for, if you're looking to do some networking, because in this, you can also track people that follow the same topic as you. So for example, I'm looking for professionals on the field of education. So you can start your research by going to the topic education and looking for people, and then checking the list of people that are interested on education, for example. You can even contact them using the contact form on Capacity4dev, follow, yeah, and connect. Normally, if you click on someone's profile, you have some more information, some LinkedIn pages, whatever you like to display. So the countries tab will work pretty much the same way, but it will be for countries. On this initial page, you have a map that also has some statistics about Capacity4dev and the country. So about Sudan, we have 4 groups, 4 projects, 11 discussions, 75 library items, and 83 members inside of these 4 groups overall. So if you go to the country, you're going to be led to this page that is very similar to the topic ones, as I said. So it's a feed compiling all the documents, all the pages created regarding the topic, Sudan. The third way you can look for content is going directly on the type of content you like. So let's say I only want to look for groups. And then you type your keywords, and then you can also filter with the SDGs, the countries. So we present these 3 ways to browse content. So it is a knowledge sharing platform, so the knowledge has to be easily trackable. So we give you these 3 options. If you are still wondering on how, okay, so we saw so many groups, so many projects, how do I open my own page? So you go to the specific tab regarding the type of page you would like to open. So if it's a group, you go on groups. As you can see here, there's the button to create a group. You fill all the red star fields, and this will be reviewed by our internal team before being approved. Projects, as you can see, create a projects, and then resources. All right, so we are done with the browsing content. So the second thing I would like to show you is some My Profile configurations. So to check My Profile, you go to My Account and then My Profile. And then you have inside here My Settings. This is important because here you can define your topics of interest. For example, I selected all of those and the countries of interest. But you can also select the notifications frequency. So if you're being bothered by too many emails on Capacity4dev, or if you don't even notice them because they are too few, you can change them from weekly to monthly or daily, for example, or even never if you don't want to receive emails about stuff that is happening on Capacity4dev. And lastly, you have this agreements where you can check whether you would like to be contacted by your personal form or not. So if you uncheck this box, you can see that, for example, let's select a random country here. So these people, they allowed being contacted, but this one didn't. So you are not going to see the contact button here. On my profile, besides configuring the settings, you can see all the pages that, for example, you are managing or participating. You can see all the discussions you published and so on, but you can also see the things that you are following from here, that you can click the button follow in any kind of content. So that is a smart move by clicking following on things, because you can see it here, you can see on your homepage feed, and you can get notifications from it either on your email or on your front page. Bookmarks are mostly for I want to save it and see later, not necessarily get notifications from that. So you can just tag bookmark on any content as well. And then you have the people you follow and that are following on your network, and the messages. So the messages you receive, they will be all compiled here. Finally, you have some stats. So it shows what's been going on. So for me, I published so far 20 events, 3 documents, 8 videos, 55 discussions, and made 1 comment in the platform, at least with this account. All right. So once you have created a group or is administering a project page or a resource, you also be able to post content. A reminder is that on groups, you can post things there, although you're not the admin. So, and you can multi-post as well. Like you can post things on more than one space at a time, depending on the privacy level. So if you select a restricted space, you won't be able to select other types of spaces. But if you select a public one, you can select more than one at once. So let's say I want to publish in all these 4 groups at the same time a discussion. And that's how you do it. For every page that you are going to create some content, you're going to have the same text editor with all those features here. Besides being able to post, for example, discussions in groups, you can post documents, photos, videos, you can create events, and for the projects, you can create news. Right, so that is for the tour. The most important thing about posting content that I want to highlight is that you have to be part of a space. Otherwise, when you are clicking here, nothing will appear. You won't be able to publish. So that is my first challenge to you for today, or homework, I would say. You look for groups that are interesting for you on the groups tab or the topics tab or the countries tab. Join them and start publishing your first discussion so you learn how to do it. All right, so that's it for our virtual tour today. So we're going to our second part, which is our contributions from Cristina and Bianca. Let me just go back to the slides. So the idea of inviting the ambassadors today was to have some other insights that are not from the Capacity4dev team directly, of their experience on Capacity4dev. So how are other users using the platform?
Yeah, should I start? I think I was first on the slide. Very nice to...
Yes, go ahead, Bianca. Thank you for
Yes.
participating.
Very nice to have all of you here. I have been an active member on and off of Capacity4dev since the very, very beginning. So I will mention 3 roles that I've played. So hopefully one of the roles I've had will be relevant for you. I was, as I mentioned, I've worked at the EU delegations to Syria and Ukraine, and I was communications manager, and we created a group in Ukraine specifically where we brought together in the group all communications managers of EU-funded projects. So it was a way to share best practices amongst the communications managers of EU-funded projects. It was a way to, it was a place to put all the guidelines, I mean, the visibility guidelines, etc. So it was just a way to avoid having everything go through emails and big long lists of emails and then not being able to find documents. So it's just to have one place, sort of a repository that is there, but because not everyone goes on Capacity4dev on a regular basis, the notifications are there to make sure that people are reminded there is capacity for development. If there's something new in the group, they are made aware of it. A second role I've had was once again, no longer within the EU institutions, but leading an EU public diplomacy project where we worked with South Koreans who were all human rights activists who were all coming to Brussels for a study visit. And there it was much shorter, so it wasn't, you know, an ongoing group that should, in principle, still be alive today, as far as I know, as in Ukraine. But this was just a very an ad hoc one. It was something that was going to last a few weeks to prepare the study visit and to follow up on the study visit. Of course, there it's much more challenging because you don't have the reflex of being aware of capacity development, but by putting, for example, pictures of the study visit in the group, people like to see the pictures, so they would come and open the group just to see the pictures, but then would see other documents. We would put the agenda there. Again, it was used somewhat as a repository in this case. And third, and that's when I will also start showing very concrete examples of how I use it today, is today I'm a senior communications manager for the DEAR support team. As I mentioned earlier, one of my main roles is supporting 16 other projects that are funded by the European Union. And our role is to make sure that they're not all doing the same thing in their campaigns about global citizenship education and other campaigns with young people. So we want to share as much of what they're doing with each other so that they don't replicate the work and build on the work that past projects have done. So I will show you very concretely by sharing my screen 2 things that I've done on Capacity4dev in that context. So let's hope this works. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay, very good. So this is the EU DEAR program, Development, Education and Awareness Raising. And last I heard it was the 3rd most popular pages or project. Even though it's a program, it's considered a project in Capacity4dev. And we use it a bit as sort of a website, almost back office. I mean, of course, it's not, you can't adapt it as you would a regular website, but depending on what your purpose is. Here, our purpose is gathering information and resources and events from other projects. So what we concretely use, and these are the most useful ones for us. So here you can just see the description, what it looks like, and then you see the latest activities. And as you see, the latest activities are mainly events. So I will go straight to the events page where you will see all the upcoming events. including today's onboarding, which we posted here. And anything that is relevant for our community, which are EU DEAR-funded projects and practitioners around global citizenship education. What is very good about the calendar, I would say, is two things. One, that you can anyone can post in the group. I will go to that in a second. And you can add it directly to your calendar. So if you go to, I'll put the European Youth event, for example, in my calendar, I go to Google, I use mainly Google, and it's immediately there. It's literally one click, making sure it's the right one, yes, save, and it's in my calendar. So personally, I find that extremely useful. And it's a good way for the 16 projects that I help coordinate to know what's going on and what the other projects are doing. We also, under events, have been using, I think, yeah, exactly, using it for opportunities. So for job posting deadlines and for calls. There's now, when you add a new event, I'll just show very quickly, you can add a, one of the event types is opportunity. See, opportunity, you see here, and then you can just add the title, description, dates, etc. So that's the number one thing that I use in our overall page. The second thing I use is library for resources. And here you see all the resources that have been produced mainly by the EU DEAR projects that we upload here, guidelines, etc. And there's also, you can put them, you can organize them by folders to make it easier to, that it's not just a long wall of resources, but you can organize them by topics. Now this, when it's called a project, only the administrators, as Ivan has said, can add. So this is very much in my hand in our team, where we post things, but we encourage all our partners to join. And now let me move to the group, the EU DEAR program group. And here they themselves can post in the library. So it doesn't all have to go through me, that they send me an email that I post, that they can put it themselves. And same with events. What I do when they post an event, I will then repost it into the larger group, the project, where more people have access. So it's really just a simple click to add it to the project page so that it's visible for everyone. I don't want to go into too much details because I want to leave room for everyone else, and I don't know how relevant this is for everyone. So I just want to end by saying that maybe one little tip that recently came up. Some people were very hesitant to post in their own name for various reasons. So one thing that we've done, and I do it also, is I post not in my own personal name, but I post in the name of the DEAR support team. So either a project or a role or a team. And then it's more owned by the team. So that's something that can be done. And the second thing, to end on a very positive note, I think you will also possibly thinking, another platform, can we really encourage people to go yet again somewhere to post things? We were positively surprised, and I do have to add surprised, that we had a webinar with our projects where Ivan was also presenting, to encourage people and show how they can use Capacity4dev. And it was actually one of the most popular webinars that we've had, and people were extremely positive about it. The other thing is getting them to then use it. It does take a lot of pushing, reminding, so we need to be realistic, but let's say the interest when we showed it was, oh, wow, we didn't realize this exists. So I think the interest is there, and it's just finding how you need it and how it can serve your purposes. That's it, and I pass on to Christina.
Thank you, Bianca. Yes, go there, like Christina. I'll do the comments after. Who else has a question as well, either for me or for Bianca or Christina? Just publish on the chat, or we'll do at the end of the session a Q&A session.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Thank you, Bianca. I sense this webinar today will be very interesting because I'm slightly from a different sector, from the private sector, being a consultant, as I mentioned earlier. So basically, my job is to develop proposals which will actually be anchored into the European Union's policies and priorities. So I feel that like I have to say some words about my background. So to be very interesting what exactly and how I am using the platform in my work. So far, I have developed 84 projects with more than 90 million of euros in different sectors and for different beneficiaries. And I manage a large-scale network of partners who successfully participate in different consortia. So my areas of activities and of expertise includes business development, governmental affairs, and civil society, by being from the private part. Meaning the most important activities consists of developing business plans, strategies, country reports, policy papers, and project proposals under different funding programs, such as Citizens' Equality, Rights and Values, Europe Aid, Erasmus+, Creative Europe, Horizon Europe, and many more. What is important to mention, at the basis of developing a concept, a strategy, or a proposals lies two important components: relevance and quality. So these ones are rooted into the European Union's policies and the international priorities and need particular attention. And I would like to share my screen. Please confirm that you see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So one of the tools I am using in my work is the SDG Mapper. It's basically a digital tool, visualization tool, which helps me to map efficiently EU policies and documents. With this tool, I correctly anchor, for example, my personal project into the related SDG, and moreover, I can simply identify the correct indicators I have to report. So for this example, I will present my project, which fosters cooperation between 6 organizations to equip youth workers and low-skilled young people with digital and green skills. So the latest result is to help these young people, people with fewer opportunities, to develop sustainable businesses. So at this stage, you might think that the best SDG is the 4th one, quality education. But now I will show you what exactly my project is about. So you go to this SDG
sorry,
tool.
Christina. Sorry to interrupt you. I think I don't know if it's only for me, but the quality of the screen is really bad. Maybe you cut your camera on and leave only the screen share for this moment.
Let me see how to do that. Just a moment.
You go on Teams and you just cut the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are in the SDG Mapper.
Better.
Yeah. Now it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So here you have a video explanation of the tool, also text explanation, overview, aims and outputs. But I will walk you through very quickly through what I exactly do. So first of all, of course, you have to log in into the platform. And here we have two options: to map and our previous mapping. So for our example, we will use SDG mapping. basically you open the SDG mapping and you upload your project or your document or your strategy, whatever strategic document you have, and after that the magic happens. Yeah, so I will show you exactly how it looks. We thought that our project is more about quality education, but actually my project was about decent work and economic growth. So basically 45% this SDG is more relevant than quality education. So what I can do for my work is to see what exactly relevant SDGs my project contains. And as you can see, the quality education is on the second place, and on the first place with more than 40% is SDG 8. Also, because my project is targeting people with fewer opportunities, I was thinking that actually I anchored very well the reduced inequalities SDG, but as you can see from this mapping, I have still to work on this SDG to anchor it better in my proposal. So next, what I do is to check what kind of targets I have in my document. So basically I can have it like a bar chart where I better like the bubble chart, and I can see which targets are most relevant for my proposal and which ones are less relevant for my proposal. So of course I will focus on the most ones relevant for my project proposal. And next I go to the indicators page, and here I can better understand what type of indicators I can target in my monitoring and evaluation framework, and what exactly I can mine in my logical framework. Yes. This tool is actually helping a lot if you want to base your project proposal better into the policies of EU policies, yeah, and international priorities in general. One more tool I am using is the reference tracker. What is this? Basically, if you have some documents and you need some justification for the relevance of your project, because you may know, being from this sector, we have the needs analysis, the context analysis, and all of these sections we have to justify and document very well. So I will go also with my project, but you can upload any of the documents and search for specific terms. Here I will search for digital skills. So let me see how many times my proposal is referring to digital skills. And as you can see, I have 11 occurrences about the digital skills. And also in the right side, I have the strategic target, yeah, which relates to the digital skills. So basically this tool is helping a lot if you want to make a project more policy related. And in the final, of course, you can issue a report. Yes, here you can change the charts. You can use this in your proposal as well. You can also change the form of these charts, bar charts or bubble charts, so it will be more, your proposal will be more appealing to the evaluators. So to me, I have generated already this report to show you how it looks, and you also can use this in your project proposal as a resource to document and justify your project proposal or policy document or whatever document, strategic document you have. As a conclusion to say, SDG Mapper can be used in many ways, and of course for multiple documents, and it's quite a great contribution for the development work. So far, the majority of my projects have been developed and anchored in the EU's priorities thanks to this resource, which I highly recommend for all international professionals. It's working in a way that help you to visualize the content of your project, policy paper, report, or even institutional strategy, and link it to the correct development goal, which is, of course, by default contributing to implementing the agenda, 2030 agenda. So that's what I wanted. I believe it's a great tip for for international professionals.
Yes, indeed. It's so complimentary. Last onboarding, we had Carlos talking about the results and indicators
Yes.
resource. So we have many resources for the whole project cycle, from the designing of proposals unto the evaluation parts. This is so interesting. That's an incentive to explore more of the resources on Capacity4dev. They are already our most visited pages, but it's interesting, and I'm happy to know that it helps on your work, Christina.
A lot.
As for the as for the DEAR program, this is, as Bianca said, one of our most visited pages, and it is a nice solution, and we always recommend that to the users that ask questions, for having more than one page or having more than one space for users. So what the intelligent solution they found is exactly of having this group where everyone can publish whatever they want, but then you have Bianca and their team selecting the most important content for displaying on the project page. So you can do that as well, and you can link both pages. And one of these spaces does not have to be both of the spaces do not have to be public necessarily. So you can create a restricted access area only for people that are working directly with projects, and then create a public area for everyone else. So yeah, as Christina said, we have two very different type of users here, and that's what it make even richer this presentation. Now I want to know from you, do you have any questions to Bianca, to Christina, or to me about Capacity4dev? Now again, you can either raise your hand, or yes, we have Annalisa that has the question.
Yes, thank you. My question would be for you, Ivan, and it's about how to manage differently public versus a restricted group. Because, for instance, my unit has both a public and a restricted group, and we're working on revamping and leveraging more the possibilities that Capacity4dev offers. One specific question would be if external experts with the technical assistance contract with the European Commission, because we work with a few, can have access, for instance, to a restricted group, or since they don't have European Commission or EAS email domain, that will not be possible.
Yes, I understand your question. For the restricted groups, I think the best is to show the configuration page. So let's say you are creating, sorry, I have a camera here. Let's say you are creating a new group, but this same page will appear if you are editing your group. It's on here. So the restricted one, when you select it, you can select the organizations that will be in there. If the external consultant has an EC email ext, they will be able to see if it's here, if it's selected EC, which is by default selected already. So you have commission. If it is selected like this already, the person that has an ext email will be able to see. Otherwise, if you want to include people that are not from the EC or not from any of the agencies here, we have some UN agencies as well, World Bank, for example. If it's not there, I recommend creating a private group instead, because here you can invite from any kind of email domain. On the restricted groups, the only option you have to add external people is if they are admins. So yes, you may have an implementing partner, but the people that will be the target, if it's only from the commission, then you can create a restricted group and put this person with a different email on the list of admins.
Okay, thank you. I mean, in this case, the group is already on.
It's already created, right?
Yeah, it's been on the platform for some time, so it wouldn't be possible, I think, to create a new group. But
we can also revert, but if you get in contact with me, we can revert. If it's like a restricted, we can revert to public or private. But that is more on a bilateral level. So
okay, yes, I will reach out to you.
Yes, please reach out to me. Additionally, the thing you asked on the beginning of this presentation as well, if you want some tips and tricks, I recommend visiting the best practices for Capacity4dev page. Here you have a nice layout you can use as an example. Right. Okay, so thank you, Annalisa. I hope that answers your
I want to
questions.
leave more time to other questions, so I'll see if there's someone else, and if not, I'll maybe ask a follow-up.
Right. Just send an email to our support mailbox. We'll be happy to talk to you. We also have the possibility for space managers to get a direct 30-minute call with me. So I'll guide you further. All right. Thank you. So Joel.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Thank you for giving me the audience. This is my first time here, actually, and I'm happy to be here to learn about Capacity4dev. Sorry, I have a question concerning EU funding and tender portal. I don't know if this is the right place to ask it, or there's someone I can
what is the name of the portal?
Pardon? EU funding and tenders portal.
I see. No, this is not definitely not the session for this. Although we have Christina that was commenting on the topic, this is a session to introduce you to the platform, Capacity4dev, the knowledge sharing platform. If you have questions about other platforms, you have to go directly to their sessions or their contact part.
Okay, I mean, I think it's just the IT help desk I could see here. It's not IT related. So is there anybody you can point me to in the department, or I don't know?
Yeah, we can check that later. Can send you by email.
Okay,
please
thank you
maybe
very
get
much.
in contact. You can send a message to our support mailbox. We can redirect you as well.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Do you have other questions? Please enjoy. We have Christina and Bianca here also ready to answer your questions if you have any. But otherwise, we can see each other on the platform. I hope they have, I don't know if you have the contact form enabled for you, Bianca and Christina. But if yes,
that's what I wanted to say, Ivan, for Joe, yes, and for everybody who wants to explore more the funding part. Of course, with the support of Capacity4dev, I have the contact form. You can always contact me. I will be more than happy to support you through everything.
Yes, and I understand Christina is also launching a group. It was just not finished yet because
yes. I'm in the process of setting up the group. It will be a group specifically for different writing tips, how to increase the quality of project proposals, because so far we have quite a high rate of approvals, meaning the projects we are submitting and the projects we are actually awarded. So I will be more than happy to share tips, tricks, documents, different, which we will be uploading on the library and in the group. So keep in touch.
Yes, I'm leaving both our messers profiles on the chat. You can.
If anyone works in global education, please join the development, education, and awareness raising group, or working on youth campaigns. We work a lot with young people. I'm very happy to to share resources and events that may be relevant for you.
Yes, what I recommend is following them. So you have, whenever Cristina, for example, published this new group, or whenever Bianca is publishing on the project page, you see the updates on your feed as well. All right, I will leave you also here on the chat just some final links. The ones that we commented about. So you have the ambassadors landing page, the SDG mapper, and the UDIR program pages. So you can explore. And there you go. And this final links. There you go. So if you want willing to book a call with me, that's also for Annalisa, you have the link there. It's a 30-minute call destined for mostly space managers. So if you want to open or to revamp your space, for example. So thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much, our ambassadors, Bianca and Cristina, for your contributions and also for being such valuable members to our community. We hope to see you soon, maybe in the Space Managers session that we have next week. This session is destined only for people that manage spaces, so I recommend opening one if you want to take part. And we see you around. Do not hesitate to get in contact with us.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Ivan.